can't believe I got 5 whole views on my map video. People must really like to watch my maps. Oh. Well, alright then. Another Pokemon video coming up. Hello everyone, welcome to the video. What was that one area in the first game that you had ever played that made you go, whoa, I want to go there, or I want to see this in real life? For me, it was Chargestone Cave in Pokemon Black. I first saw the floating rocks, I wanted to know how they worked, how they floated, and I wanted to befriend a real-life Joltik as I walked through those areas. The location became etched in my mind as something that awed me. The Whirlpool Islands in Soul Silver are another striking place that I vividly remember the first time playing through those games. I remember encountering Lugia there for the first time, and it was remarkable. Finding my way through the caves only to come across this powerful Pokemon was amazing. How about the first place described to you where you thought, I'd love to visit this place, or I want to know what's going on there? The question isn't solely about Pokemon games, though. In the sci-fi game Destiny, the Cosmodrome with its derelict structures and rusted-out cars and planes took what I understood to be our world and slowly let in sci-fi elements to create fantastical adventures in space. And in historic fantasy, we have the Assassin's Creed games, which have taken the fantasy element to a whole different level, with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey, bringing areas from the real world and incorporating fantasy elements like monsters and myths to create a really amazing experience. So why don't we take the initiative to make some of these for our very own players? Every creative work we put into the physical world will be seen by someone at some point. Hopefully those that see it will see the effort and the energy that we've put into our works. But some people may look at these places in our regions and say, what is that supposed to be? But hopefully there will be those others who look with the same awe that we first had at those remarkable locations in our first playthroughs. Because of these different reactions, it doesn't mean we necessarily have to paint out each and every perfect scenic view, or record the absolute best bird call using synthesizers and rattling jars. I do have mad respect for people who do dedicate their time to that, and if you're one of those people that want to do that, go for it. But our task is to give the player something to do in our worlds, in order to 1, get them used to the world, and 2, push the bounds of what they're used to. Pokemon does this very early on by giving the player a mission to pick up a mysterious egg in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and in Black 2 and White 2, the player is tasked with finding an NPC only to be rewarded with their first Pokemon. The more recent games have chosen not to give freedom to the players right away, and instead focus on teaching them the basics while weaving a story thread throughout. Sword and Shield chose to guide the player along a very straightforward path in order to teach the basics of the game before opening up to a larger area, giving the player true freedom to traverse the wild areas. So whether you choose to hold your player's hand and guide them through the first half hour of the game, or you give them instructions to follow when they wish and how they wish, you'll still need a place for these events to happen. One place where they will start, and one place to be their destination. Whether it's your starting town, starting house, or starting room, you'll always need a place for your players to go. On screen, you'll find the exotic locations are what make this map come alive. Just looking at a few of these locations unlocks a world of potential for your players to travel. Maybe there's a wreck of a lost king's ship, or maybe it's the home of a new and dangerous breed of Pokemon. It could be that there's a hostile group trying to keep your player off the island. Is the group scared of something or someone? Or are they keeping you away from the legendary of the region? Or are they just trying to let their boss take a day to relax and don't want anyone to disturb him? Traveling to the far north, you could find a tomb, a castle, or crypt, and inside, a researcher might warmly welcome you and invite you to stay. Maybe they have a problem with a nearby colony of Murkrow. Maybe there's a Yeti scaring the locals and no one will bring supplies to the research camp. All of these locations invite the players to solve problems. Each of these locations has the potential to create memorable events for each of your players. If each locale is given the room to tell its own story, then those adventures can be woven together to tell the whole story of the region. As an example, take a look at Sword and Shield. Our attention is drawn to the mural on Stoon's side, but there's nothing for our character to do at the moment. But after the gym, there's an event at the mural which draws our attention back to it. where we find one of our rivals destroying the artwork for the sake of proving himself. In this way, the location engages us as players, and the event uses the location as an opportunity to further the story. Our locations should intrigue the players and make them want to explore and ask questions. What's the mural for? Where did the statues come from? What secrets do these places hold? Use your own senses to describe the place you're creating. What does it smell like? What can you hear? Is there a taste in the air? You can incorporate those descriptions into your own artwork and into your missions. Let me know in the comments what unique locations you'll be using for your next game or area in your region. Thank you all so much for watching this far into the video with me. And if you have any suggestions for any future videos, please let me know. My next video is already in the works and should be posted within the next couple weeks. I'm shooting to post it mid-March, but we'll see. And soon I'll be designing both a Pokemon dungeon and a fantasy dungeon all in one, and explaining some of the design conventions for gyms and boss fights. Just as a side note, I wrote all this script before watching a video from the Extra Credits crew, and I think they did this concept a bit better, so I'll link their video in the doobly-doo. Anyway, tomorrow is another day. Create, rest, and enjoy the life you have. See you next time.